The grand final of Group C. Let's go. Another best of 5, everybody. Let's get the show on the road here. On the left, we got Save the Taco in blue with Taco himself on Oriel. Let's see how many times he can save him today. We got Grolk on Suljin, going for Recklessness on level 1. Me on Hogger, Kablamo on Sergeant Hammer, and Bellacore is going for Johanna. Yeah, and over on the right side, we have the Munchies with Old Master on Gazlowe. I mean, it's already a pretty special comp that they're running here. Obviously, there is a huge RNG factor. We're going to talk about that again in a minute. But we have Gazlowe and we have Asmodan. Mila is playing Asmodan, Skarn, Murden, Mekako in Whitemane, and Griffiths is playing Cassia here on game number 1 of our best of 5 series. If you're unfamiliar with the Spin to Win Cup, then you're a little bit late to the party. We've nearly gone through all of the games already. This is the final, the grand final of Group C. Oh, careful. And the teams are not drafted. The way that the compositions come to pass is that the teams go on a website, and for every role within the team, they spin a wheel. And the wheel giveth, and the wheel taketh away. So you get randomly a hero assigned to that role. But since it is still true to the roles, it means you have a front line, you have a back line, and you have a support. So it's a pretty interesting twist on, I would say, ARAM rules. You still have a composition that should technically be playable, but of course you can end up with something that's much stronger than what your opponent runs. And the red team certainly has their work cut out for them. They have a lot of off-meta heroes here with Gazlowe and with Asmodan. Whereas on the other side, we have Suljin as a main damage dealer, we have Sergeant Hammer, so you have 2 auto attackers that are fairly strong here. There's no globals involved, you know, the big map, so technically you can try and see to maybe dominate things with Asmodan if he gets stacks. The problem is that Asmodan is already alone on lane and is not looking too great on the stack numbers. We're already more than a minute in, that's multiple waves, and he has 10 stacks, that's nothing. This is a nice move though. They want to go for the camp, and they get the kill. The problem is they're losing Gazlowe in the process, so it's a 1-for-1 trade in kills. I like the move though. I really like the move. Little move to just come in and say hello and steal it away. They were obviously timing that. The problem is that while they were doing it, they didn't take their own camp. So they went for a nice little invade, but they didn't take their own mid lane camp, and now they have one pushing against them. So much better position generally now for the blue team. The thought was there, but it's getting a bit tricky. And now Johanna was for a moment getting dangerously close to taking Asmodan out as well. Now thankfully for the Munchies, it hasn't quite happened. But they need to be a bit careful on this, because it's already an uphill battle in my eyes when you just look at the team composition. And Asmodan isn't stacking. Asmodan is not stacking properly. We've been talking a lot about how Asmodan should stack, how teammates should help in the earlier stages of the game to just help him to get a bit of a leg up. But this isn't happening here, and that means that they're going to be in for a rough ride. There's a little bit of good news. They have also stacks on Cassia, and those are going way better since she's sitting at the top lane against Sergeant Hammer and is really farming them. So we're currently looking at 31, 2.5 minutes in. That's an absurd amount of stacks for Cassia this early in the game. That's absurd. If she can keep that up, she's going to be an absolute monster come the late game, and that might be something that makes things difficult for the blue team. Then to be fair, they have, of course, Suljin, who's now sitting at 14, 15 stacks himself. That means the range increase is kicking in just as we speak, and that makes stacking for him easier. And he also is going to be very likely a huge force to be reckoned with in the later stages of the game here. But yeah, time will tell. It's a fierce battle up here at the top. I mean, they're really going for it. Sergeant Hammer is jumped and gets taken down by Gazlowe, so the Goblin, the Tinker, has his way back into the game after he was killed on the camp earlier. Talking about camps, they have still not taken this one. This camp was not taken at all, whereas the blue team has another null camp moving through the middle, and this one pushes hard. So this is a problem. Suljin dying at the top. Oh, and Oriel eating that Stormbolt and nearly dying as well. Ooh. Yeah, the red team is definitely fighting back. The Munchies, they're gonna slowly munch ahead here. 3 kills to 1 currently. We're having in the middle of the map the wall already slowly destroyed. That's the power of regularly taking your camp here, as you can already see. Now, on top of that, Suljin has now decided that he wants to go into the Arcanite axis, so even more stacking from his perspective. So, yep, they're gonna stack as hard as they can over here. It's getting wild. This is gonna get pretty spicy here. I mean, Cassia gets a lot of stacks, Soljin is getting a lot. Damage output is going to reflect that, but it's an endless barrage. I mean, the blue team is just sieging up on them. Save the Taco is relentless up here. They got Hogger at the bottom of the map, a fantastic side lane, of course, as well, and there's the Cassia kill. But she has 49 stacks already at the 4-minute mark. That is more than most people have 8 minutes into the game. So this is pretty big. Now, 54 stacks for Azmodan, this still worries me a little bit, and of course them losing the first few forts here is also not really a good sign. But maybe Cassia can turn around eventually. You can see in that lane, by the way, how this immediately flips once that they lose Cassia here. Cassia is needed. Gazlowe is now down as well. But let's just look at the damage numbers. Cassia has 17,000 damage. That means that she's more than doubling the damage of anybody else in that game. So, sorry, on her side, of course. On the blue team side, on the other hand, we have 20,000 for Sergeant Hammer and 18,000 for Soljin. So they really have a lot that they bring to the table with this. With me now taking the camp at the bottom of the map, we still haven't seen anybody make even a move for the objective. Everybody is just attacking, defending, pushing, trying to do their best here. And the blue team seems to be just attempting to push all of these forts down before they're even thinking about going for the objective. At least now that they're also going towards the middle. Now Cassia with 50 stacks, as I said, she's going to be an absolute force. But I'm looking at Soljin, and he's also starting to look very, very strong here. 23 stacks, he's soon going to get more, and 12 stacks on the Arcanite axis already, and they hit the early level 10. Now this is a small window, but they are going to push more through the middle. It's a one lane map right now. It's a 5 versus 5 in the middle. They're finally pushing a few of their heroes over to the side, but with level 10 abilities, it seems that they're finally in a position where they're saying, hey, we can go for the objective, and they're trying that. Azmodan went for the Demonic Invasion. I'm not quite sure if I'm really a big fan of it. I like the side lane push strategy. I love it though, also the big map, and Azmodan can control the side lanes much easier here, and they need the damage, I think. Cassia, Valkyrie, Aegis, damn, the ult's really coming through here, as Muradin, who went for Haymaker, drops it on Oriel. Still, it seems like the blue team might walk away with this objective here. The interrupts are just not coming. Somebody has to do it. Nobody does, and that's objective number 1 for the Tacos. But they lose Hogger, so one of their heroes is now dead. And they are running with the rest as Soljin completes the quest. He's going to continue stacking, of course, but that means now double hits on the Arcanite axis. He's going to get 2 swings, and this is going to be great for him. As much as I like the damage output from Cassia here, I think Soljin eventually is going to eclipse that. He already has. 27,000 for him. Cassia is at 26,000. She is the one shining beacon in the darkness that is the Munchies. But the Tacos, they are on a warpath. They are with the objective, sitting straight in the middle, going for the next big attack here, trying to wreak havoc, and they do exactly that. The fort likely gonna fall. Sergeant Hammer, of course, taking huge advantage there as well. Full defense now, though. Aegis again against the Valkyrie. I like what Taco is doing, but then the follow-up from Gazlowe, that nearly resulted in Sergeant Hammer being eliminated. Soljin, yes, he went straight into the proper ult. He went for Tazdingo and is now using it to stack even further. Blue team, the composition alone, again, gives them an edge. And now, great blessed shield. Nice follow-up. Nearly the kill, but the saves. Whitemane with a couple of fantastic moves to prevent the kills from happening. Bot lane, fort is still standing, and even in the middle, I mean, they're defending massively. They're doing extremely well defending. 74 stacks now for Cassia. She's basically doubling what a typical Cassia player gets around the 8-minute mark. We talked about this in the past, but if you're sitting at 40 here, you're good. Cassia, she had so many brawls throughout the entire game. It was basically an endless brawl for her. There was absolutely no moment of peace, and it just shows. It just absolutely shows in her numbers. If Soljin wasn't on the other side, I think the chance of the red team would be much, much higher to start a comeback here. But in this current situation, they have to hope for also a few missteps on the side of the Tacos that they can exploit. And so far, the blue team has done what they needed to. They are pushing through the middle. They take another fort out. They are ahead here. And despite the fact that we're getting good attempts from Gazlowe and others, it's just not enough. So right here, in comes the attempted kill against Oriel, who didn't work out. Both teams still with the same experience, by the way, which is one of the, I want to say, best things for the red team. But also, if they want to really use Azmodan, then they have to use his ult a lot more. They already dropped the wall at the bottom of the map, as you can see. Cooldown is currently happening, so he did that. But they need to be extremely consistent, using his ult, the Demonic Invasion, to take structures out, or it's going to be a problem. Blue team is just moving on. Blue team immediately said, alright, 2 forts are down, let's go for the next one. Let's take all of the forts first, get some catapults going, and then we continue. So they're again going onto the lane as Hogger stays top and is trying to push the catapults or the nulls that they have already in. Yeah, and then in the meantime, of course, here comes the attempt to take the last fort and therefore the last fountain in the middle out. So this is currently the goal of the team. Right now, things are not looking too bad. They do enough here. Wall is nearly done. He's now with 83 stacks. Azmodan is also getting a few stacks together. Again, he was very, very slow getting stacks. Didn't get any help at the beginning, but he's now sitting at 156. So the damage output is a bit more there. And with Sergeant Hammer being a very grateful target, he might be able to chip in a bit more at this point. So, yeah. They are still having a bit of a rough time, and the problem is, of course, also that Hogger is now saying, you know what? If you guys leave me alone, I'm going to start going for the next objective. I have absolutely no qualms about it. So here comes the move from Hogger. As down at the bottom of the map, everybody is still trying to go for the final fort. And Hogger, yeah, he's getting them a huge lead, if not the objective directly. So another problem for the Munchies. Gazlowe and Azmodan are trying to deal with this, but that automatically means that the squad at the bottom of the map is only consisting of 3 heroes. They're trying to keep everybody away from Sergeant Hammer. Yeah, Soljin also wanted to go back in for another taste. Now, looking at Soljin and his damage output, he is now the top damage healer in the game. He has even surpassed Sergeant Hammer at this point. 53,000 damage. We have 40,000 for Cassia. Here come the attacks again. Azmodan is now completing at least his first quest, so there we go. Still, 15 versus 15. Experience is so dead even. Red team is doing a great job staying even in experience here, so this is working really, really well for them. But they're still losing structures over and over again. It's actually amazing considering that the passive experience obviously increases for the blue team the more structures they take down, but the red team still keeps up. Gazlowe is now going for the objective. While the fort falls at the bottom of the map, Gazlowe is like, wait, if Hogger is doing this, I can do that too. I can go in there and do some work. So, yeah, here we are. And the blue team seems to be thinking that they can just continue pushing. It has been working all game long, so why stop? Okay, they're starting to move back a little bit. Curious what they're deciding to do now. If they're just trying to push again. There's, by the way, also that push here at the top. So Azmodan has started to do some work here. Gazlowe is a bit of trouble, and the rest of the blue team is now moving back in. So the Tarkos are trying to kill Azmodan, which they will likely succeed in. Nice little move by Whitemane, but since there's no fort for the team, this might still get dicey. And Azmodan gets away. Good for him. Here comes Haymaker. Gazlowe is down. Azmodan got away, sorry. Gazlowe didn't make it. The topside fort, by the way, is still standing. Azmodan can take it down with an orb, I believe. Yeah, definitely. One orb is all that they need here. And then in the middle of the map, as you can already tell, that's where the next little play comes for the wall, as they are now making their next move in an attempt to get the next objective. And this time, it's the blue team. I mean, Gazlowe was so close to get it for the team. 1.6 seconds were missing, but that was enough for Save the Taco to come back in, turn it around, and lock the second objective in. I think this might be the moment where the game actually turns, because up to this point, if Gazlowe steals the objective here, maybe they take down a few forts, and then they have a chance, but now this is looking tricky. I'm not sure why Azmodan went down to the bottom of the map. I honestly would have left that up to somebody else and tried to sneak him towards the top to get an orb going so that he can destroy the fort and get a bit more lane pressure for themselves. Now, that hasn't really happened. It's a bit unfortunate for them. But now how is the blue team going to play this? Obviously, it's in their hands right now to do some serious damage with this push. And they will want to try go in and take out one of the keeps. Muradin gets blown to pieces before this even starts. They found him in the bush as he was trying to anchor the play a little bit and uses Haymaker, but that is obviously not a great start for the defense. We have 52,000 damage for Cassia, 100 stacks here, but it just doesn't matter. Suljin at 72k. Sergeant Hammer, there's still really nice move coming from the Munchies. They just struggle too much with the composition that they have here. The keeper has taken some damage, now they're pressuring through the middle, trying to accomplish the same thing here. Up at the top, we also have the objective now pushing for the last keep. So they're spreading the damage out a bit and are really trying to soften the red team up as much as they can. The danger when you do that is always that at some point you lose a fight and your opponent turns the game on you. We haven't seen any bosses used yet, just as an example. Level 10 ability, sorry, level 16 abilities are now also available for both teams, obviously. We're getting towards level 20 slowly. Suljin has 101 stacks on his Arcanite axis and 60 on his auto attacks. So he hurts. He definitely hurts. And Azmodan is at 276, not quite there yet. But Suljin is just whacking them, and those few blinds that Cassia pushes out are just not enough. Hogga has to go out, BFG, alright. Suljin back to business. That would have been a fantastic position for exactly that. Arcanite axes are wrecking them. Absolutely wrecking them. Hogga is dead though. Red team has survived. They had to retreat for a moment, but they actually survived that onslaught. So they were the ones that got the kill. Now they have to still deal with the damage down here at the bottom of the map, which they obviously do. But the next camp is already taken. Has the red team taken this camp at all? Honestly, I haven't really paid attention to it if they took it at all. I think they missed it completely, didn't they? They haven't taken it once. Now the play for boss, and you know what? What would be really cool for the Munchies if they take the boss now and then move towards the top and try and interrupt this, but I don't think they... Nah, it's too fast. They started there so early, I thought maybe they can move towards the top and claim it, but the clear speed here is so much better for the blue team that that's just not an option. So that top keep will be attacked and they have to somehow find a way to defend it. Whereas down here, at least, this fort is going to fall. The boss is going to make sure of that. But now the Banshees move towards the middle, are starting to take the wave out here, and then will slowly make their way up towards the top in an attempt to take out the boss and not lose their keep. And I'm not so sure that they can. I mean, this is going to be pretty tough if you ask me. This is not looking great here. Bottom fort has now been destroyed. Hogga attempting to defend has not prevented that from happening. Up here though, with level 20 talents now being ready for the tacos. I don't know. 124 stacks for Cassia, 66,000 damage, but you look over to Suljin and he's way ahead of that. Not 100% certain why they're stealing that camp. They could have gone for that keep and they just don't. But with that boss, I would have definitely made that move. They instead focus their attention onto the mid lane now and are trying to take that out. Yeah, once again, trying to interrupt and negate everything that comes in through Cassia. The Valkyrie plays against Sergeant Hammer, while sometimes a bit telegraphed, are still nice and they're executing it well. But the defense is decent. They haven't lost anything here. That boss at the bot lane for the red team is still active. Here comes the team fight though. They're starting to move in. Immediately the focus onto Sergeant Hammer. They're trying to take out Sergeant Hammer. The heals are insane, but eventually she falls. Cassia is dead too though. And Suljin comes just in with mad damage. 87,000 right now. Cassia did a lot, but not enough. Gazlowe is dead too. That means only 3 defenders for the Munchies. And the blue team is starting to push in again. Just a little bit though. The objective is up and they see an opportunity to play around it. Jojo needs to be defended as Muradin started to get very aggressive around this. And Suljin is now at 75 stacks on his baseline. Oh boy, that hurts. Those auto attacks are just murdering Muradin. And he doesn't have Avatar either. He's completely reliant on Haymaker. He has the positioning with everything. And Azmodan is now moving towards the top to maybe finally take that fort out. I mean, it's about time. Should have done that a long time ago, in my opinion. I talked about it several minutes ago that this would be a play that he should execute. They didn't get him to the top, though. So now we have at least that fort destroyed. I'm not certain about the ult. They used it a couple of times for defense. I think it's always a little bit meh. And he was not busy enough on the map to get himself a lot of structural value. He got some. He got the fort at the bottom of the map, so it's not like he accomplished nothing. but I think they would have loved for him to be able to do a bit more with this. Now, the play is for the bottom of the map. That's where they're currently attempting to make their move. They're going to be starting with the bottom keep, trying to take that one out. And then, of course, it's just a question of how far the other objectives, the other cavalry members go to determine, hey, can we take more keeps? Can we go for the core? And this bottom keep is already down by Suljin, just simply auto-attacking it and crushing it here. So, 0 problems for Suljin. Now they're trying for the attack here. But yeah, all of this is looking pretty grim. The boss, the core is getting attacked. They should remove another one of the armor shields before they're doing anything else here. And they're moving with Sergeant Hammer in the middle to do exactly that. Cassia, as much damage as she does, I don't think she can make the difference here. Blessed Shield is out. Aegis, Gazlowe with the bomber attempt. Doesn't get it. Murden is down as he uses Haymaker for more isolation. They can't get the follow-up kill though, and this looks like the beginning of the end. Suljin is just having a field day with all of this, is murdering the entire team, gets out alive thanks to his ult, needs a heal or two. But now they've removed 2 of the armor shields, 2 keeps are down, the 3rd one is getting attacked, and this is looking more and more like a glorious victory in game number 1 for the blue team. Now, to be fair, 9 kills to 6, the Munchies, they definitely did well. I mean, they did a great job, considering that from a just lineup perspective, they were behind from the get-go. They've done exceptionally well here. They're still losing game number 1 in the best of 5 series here at the grand final. Aldrich Pass goes to the Tacos. GG. Well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Save the Taco has the lead in the series with a 1-0. Now we're going to Battlefield of Eternity, and on the left side, Kablamo for the blue team. With Tyrael, we got Grog on Dehaka, Taco on Kel'Thas, me on Karazim, and Be'lakor is playing Orphea. So a double mage lineup for Save the Taco with a global to boot. And then on the right side, we have the Munchies. Well, with a little bit of a different lineup now. We have Stitches at the front line, together with Illidan and Deathwing. Stitches played by Old Master, Griffiths on Deathwing, and Scar on Illidan. And then we have Mila on Falstad for the only range damage, but at least a global for them. And Mikaku on Morales. The Morales games that we've seen so far in this tournament have actually been pretty interesting, pretty fun. So let's see if everything that they're trying to do here is, again, just go for Morales all game long. If that's the case, then we might even see Tyrael with Judgment. 7-sided strike follow-up from Karazim. There's a couple of ways how the blue team could play this. Best of 5 series, as I already mentioned before. Stitches already getting snitches. Comes in and takes Grog down, who was sitting in the bush over here. So, no kill or anything, but applying a little bit of pressure here very early on. So yeah, good for them. But okay, with that already established, we have our 4-man down at the bottom of the map. Dehaka is going up against Deathwing all the way up at the top side. And with level 1 talents, I mean, nothing really too shocking here. We have Tyrael with Justice for All. And yeah, top side. I was for a moment worried that we would get one of these shitting Deathwing skins, but nope. Griffiths here in style, going into battle in style. Good for him, exactly as you should. So yeah, that's exactly the play. Yeah, I've been talking actually in the last couple of matches that we had here also a little bit about just generally movies and series. I heard that the new Daredevil is out now. I haven't watched it yet. Any Daredevil watchers that can tell me if the series is any good? I think they released a couple of episodes, but I'm not quite sure if they can really, I don't know, have it on the same level that the previous parts were. But yeah, so if anybody has already watched it, let me know how you guys like it. Illidan didn't like the fight at the bot lane at all. Got killed by Karazim here, so the blind man got already bullied a bit. The blue team also took the camp. So, very successful for them. They steal the camp away, they kill Illidan. This is about as good as a start as you can get at the bottom lane. So, Save the Taco after their level 1 victory, after their game 1 victory, now also here in the early game with a really nice start that allows them to take the initial lead. Tyrael, Stalwart Angel for him, Netherwind for Kel'Thas. And immediately now the focus again for that wall. Yeah, the double mage can do a lot of damage if you are coordinating properly and just like hit the same target relentlessly. And it can do a lot with that, and this is exactly what they are now trying to execute here. They're already doing a bit of work on the bottom wall, and so far things are not looking too bad. The gate is done, one of the towers is about to go down. Now Illidan is obviously going to become stronger as the game continues, and he will also benefit from the middle of the map having a lot of space where he can just introduce chaos to everything. It's going to be tough for Morales though to keep up and get the heals through depending on how hard he goes. So we'll see how that works out for the Munchies. But it's always tricky when you're going 0-2, so it's kind of important game. Don't get me wrong, we've seen reverse sweeps, we've seen some insane grand finals here too, but being 0-2 in a best of 5 series is always a huge problem, and then having to win 3 in a row afterwards, yeah, that's where it gets really tricky. Now, either way, first objective, first immortal. Teams are not playing an immediate move here. First fountain is getting tapped real quickly. Falset is still sitting on the side lane for extra experience. But the fight is starting up. The defense from the red team, from the Munchies, currently going on strong here as Illidan already has to be careful and moved out. That's a lot of hit points lost that Morales now has to recover for. But yeah, attack starts to keep coming in. And let's see how much they can do now. At this point, I mean, Mill gets attacked quickly and has to retreat. They are sieging up on this pretty heavily, but yeah, they can't quite take the Immortal down. And as we speak, Falset has moved on to the blue team's Immortal and is now joined by Illidan as the two of them are starting to make their move all the way up towards the top. What do we get in the meantime here? I mean, right now we have essentially just the blue team throwing everything that they have against the Immortal. They want that halftime show and they want it badly. But they are also getting kills. They take Morales down and now Stitches is in a really bad spot. Fully surrounded by the blue team and he goes down too. That's 3 kills to 0. And that's a 4th kill for the Tacos. So they are absolutely bodying their opponents in that team fight, doing a stellar job pulling ahead here. And this is really bad news for the Munchies. 0-1 in the best of 5, and then on top of that, having a huge problem around the Immortal, because that is a 50% shield that basically gets established by the team in blue. So the Tacos with a very, very nice advantage going into that early game. And defense will have to be careful. Down at the bottom of the map, that's where we're going to have the Haka get into position. So he is going to make his play here. And then all the way up at the top, this is where we're going to get this Immortal push that we've now been waiting for a bit. And let's find out how much damage they can do. I mean, certainly they'll be able to break through the wall, but can they take that fort out? That is going to be the bigger question. Now, Kelthas is getting quite a few globes as he's pushing through. He's sitting at 14, so he's not quite done with his level 1 quest in Mana Addict yet. And he's definitely working on that. Wall is already gone, and to be honest, that could get nasty. Ophir is a bit low in HP, but if they can somehow push them back with damage, especially Deathwing here, they might just have a chance, and they go for him and they take him down. Deathwing dead. Deathwing gets deaded. And that's the move, straight for the fort, and they are gonna grab it as the Haka moves in from behind, gets the lick on Morales, and that's a second hero that bites the dust. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tacos, with a strong showing in the early game, haven't lost a hero yet, have taken a fort down, grabbing the early level 10, and they've killed 6 heroes. Judgment, as already expected, is in. 7-sided strike. The only thing that I'm surprised by is that we don't get a Pyroblast like we did in the last few games. That would not have shocked me if the only idea is, hey, we want to blow up Morales as fast as we can. I could have totally seen that. Now we have a Falstad sitting up topside. But, yep, this is bad news for the Munchies. Maybe they munched a little bit too much before the game started. Who knows? But currently they are suffering. And they are suffering a lot. So, yep, the attacks keep coming right now. In comes the moves. Judgment! And the follow-up isn't enough to take down Stitches. They jumped behind the fort and did the work here. So, great moves by the Tacos as they're trying to become even more dominant. Look at that Lick de Haka. Great setup but the heals from Morales were just too strong, and Falstad survived. 7 kills to 0. Lots and lots of damage done here. Lots of kills being had, and the red team is still waiting for the first one. They got the hunt now. They got level 10. They got Stitches with Putrid Bile. So for the next fight, it is an even playing field regarding talents. But can they turn this? I mean, it's gonna be tricky. Maybe with Illidan. There's not... I mean, there's some CC. You have a Gravity Labs, you have the Tongue from the Haka. There's some things that can be used against Illidan, but there's still quite a lot where he could try and get towards the mages and really murder them. They are level 10 right now, maybe with a good hunt. I mean, there's a couple of options. Illidan is now at the top. He's pushing with the Shaman camp that they already took, so he can hunt in whenever he needs to. The Haka is meeting him there. And everybody else is starting to focus onto the middle of the map where the Immortals have now spawned. Oh! Orphea, that should not have happened. Illidan comes in, and that's a kill. Yeah, that was not good. That was definitely not good. Orphea with a big mistake here. I mean, just check this out. She wants the hit, gets stunned out as she moves back into the circle, and then they are showing no mercy. They immediately take it out. So, very well done. It was an opportunity, was a mistake made by the blue team, and they took advantage of it, got the first kill, and that gives them essentially the halftime show. So, red team with a really nice little play as they're exploiting that mistake. And yes, as I said, they get the halftime show, 50% are removed now, and off we go. How much more? Can they get the whole thing? Is this the beginning of the comeback? Is this where starting to bring this back? Or how does this play out now? Morales is the one attacking, and Stitches dies while Morales attacks the Immortal. That needs to be punished, and the blue team is happy to oblige. They want that kill. Here comes Isolation. They're throwing everything against Morales, and they still can't kill her. It's actually kind of funny. They threw everything on her. Basically every ult that they had too. Not quite, but certainly most of them. And they still couldn't get the kill. Now they go for Deathwing, and I think he's going to be able to escape too. They're still spreading the love as Khaldor dropped a few ignites into the mix, but now they are refocusing their attention on the Immortals. Stitches is back, so he just respawned. And with Stitches back to business, I don't know, maybe now in the 5 versus 5, they can fight this again. Already the lick, and Illidan is dead. Yep, that hurts. Illidan gone, Stitches gets hit by the Gravity Labs. There's a 7-sided strike, and that marks the end of the red team's tank. The Munchies, they lose Stitches again, and it looks certainly like they're going to lose the Immortal too. Orphea has already been doing some damage. Now they've taken the lead on it, and they're just burning this one down. The Munchies, they are having a little bit of a rough one here, don't they? I mean, it's best of 5. You can always recover even after 2 maps. But as I said before, that's anything but easy. Now, down at the bottom of the map, that's where we're going to see the Immortal travel. So he's going to move through here. And yeah, let's see how much damage they will do. Fort is gone. Fort's gone. They can't save that. That's not happening. But if they push and they get some kills, they might be able to get a little bit more out of this. Maybe the wall at the keep, for example. But they're not too aggressive right now. Actually, a lot less than I thought. They have Judgment, they have all their ults up. Now they're starting to slowly move in as the fort falls. They want to force the fight. 7-sided strike, maybe a little bit early here. Saw Deathwing moving in and was hoping to trap him there. That didn't quite work out, so that did not as much as Karazim was probably hoping for. But down here... yeah, good damage on Deathwing. They nearly got him, and Karazim! Karazim moves in with Tyrael, and the two of them take Deathwing down, turn him into Deadwing again. And that was a real nice play. Judgment against the birdie, and Falstad is dead too. Honestly, the coordination that we're getting from both teams, but specifically from the Tacos, is pretty much on point. Illidan came in with a hunt, got the ult from Morales, and was able to take at least Orphea out and force them back out. But if he's going to be the savior for the team, and only time will tell. Not if he's getting hit by tongues like this. And there's the follow-up. Illidan gets the heals, jumps back in. I mean, he's getting full support, but they need more heals on him, and he can't run into these Dehaka tongues. That's the second one in a row that already connected with him. If you get CC'd that hard when you're diving in deep, then you are gonna get crushed. And Illidan, in my eyes, is still their best hope here. Kharazim has, by the way, also gone into way of 100 fists for some extra damage that he wants to dish out on those single targets that they are going for. Blue team with 2 levels of a lead. They're 11 kills ahead, and they're still looking great. The damage output, 36,000 for Kalthas, 30,000 for the Haka, by the way. Orphea is sitting at 35. And Stitches is the top damage dealer for the team in red, for the Munchies. He's sitting at 28,000. So this tells you already quite a bit. Illidan is slowly showing up there. He's typically not a hero that gets a whole lot of damage in the hero column, at least not early on. Once that the game progresses and he's able to get into the later stages, things are starting to slowly change. But right now, he is actually up there. 4 of them share basically the same damage. But now with the next objective coming up, this is getting dangerous for the Munchies. They need a win here. They need an Immortal. They need some teamfight victories. Last fight went a little bit better. They got 2 kills, but now they're still down that level 16 talent. And that's an absolute key talent for both of the teams. So that's a problem. And a big one at that. Now, how do they navigate that? We'll see. But Falstad dies, and that is not good news. Judgment locked the bird down once again as the team down here was getting ready for the Immortal fight. And with Falstad gone, his Gust not available, this is just nice. So here comes the next big jump. Old Master gets attacked now too and gets dropped. Stitches is gone. Stitches gets crushed. Now we have again Deathwing isolated. Gets punched down by Kharazim and killed eventually. Kharazim is really, I mean, the guy has balls, doesn't he? Comes in and just punches a dragon. You need to be clinically insane or really, really confident when you do that. I mean, just taking dragons on with your bare hands, that takes a lot. So, yeah, kudos to Kharazim. Some bald pride over here. But, here we go. Immortal goes down, and guys, I don't know, that's 15 minutes into the game and we essentially have 100% on the shield. This one is gonna slap hard. This Immortal is going to, yeah, kick butt and is gonna travel through the top. And they are trying to take down Illidan. What a save! Oh my god! What a save and what a counter attempt, but Illidan gets dragged down as he gets killed by Orphea. But holy hell! The save initially by Morales was absolutely outstanding, and then they thought they could get the kill with Illidan hunting back in, but he went straight into Orphea's damage, got crushed. I think they're losing more now. The Immortal is already doing damage up at the top, and they're pushing here at the bottom of the map. It's a 5 versus 3 right now. I'm not even talking about the Immortal top side. They're killing Falstad now too. That leaves Morales and Deathwing, and guess what? Morales can't even heal Deathwing. So, problem after problem. I think 2 of the keeps are now going to be lost. If they move towards the top, I think they can go for the core directly. But they still have minions down here. So they're starting to take the keep down. The Immortal at the top side has obviously nearly defeated the top side keep. Both keeps gone in a moment, and then it's time for the core to fall. I don't think anybody can defend here. Illidan might be back, but he just doesn't have what it takes. Judgment gets called on him. Lick as a follow-up from the Haka. They can't get the kill directly, but the Immortal alone should be able to finish what they started here. So another great game from the Tacos, and the air is getting much thinner here for the Munchies now. They're 0-2 in the series, 20 kills, 2-2, and that's a glorious victory for the blue team as they take a massive step forward to a potential victory in this grand final. GG. Dragonshire is our 3rd map, and well, it's match point number 1. The Tacos have taken 2 in a row, so this is where they can turn this around. We have on the left side Taco on Kelthas, Keblam on Alexstrasza, Grolk is playing Diva, we got me on Zeratul, and Be'lakor on main tank Varian. Now, on the right side of the map, this is where the Munchies really have to dig deep a little bit, because things haven't really gone their way. We have Old Master on Tassadar, Miller on Nazebo, so 2 majors that they got from RNGesus. We got Scar on ETC, Griffiths on Zul, and Mekaku is playing right wing. I mean, this is definitely doable right now, but can the blue team win 3 in a row? Can they just clean up and go for a flawless victory? Or are the Munchies gonna be able to fight back, maybe pull the same thing off that we've seen in one of the other grand finals and force number 5? Time will tell. We got a Toad build for Nazeebo. That's how things start up here. Can take structures down pretty easily, and also when it comes to the minion waves, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's going to make his stacking a little bit easier, pass it off for even more AoE. And yeah, time will tell us this is working out for them. Already, it looks like they're going to get a kill. Varian goes down. Look at that. First blood for the Munchies. Finally. Maybe they're... And maybe things are turning for them right now. That's actually nice. They're getting first blood. Opening game number 3 up with a bit on a positive note. That's already great after losing 2 in a row now. 1 minute mark passes. Camps are spawning. So this is where they have to make a decision what they want to do here. Are they going for the camps or what's the play? For now, it just seems like Nazeebo is going to try and get as many of the stacks as he can down here. They even waited this out a little bit so that he could get his baseline stacks. Kind of important since you still want to play for the late game and get him to Violent Infection. That has also been very consistent with most of the team that played Nazeebo, that they go for that. D.Va on the left has already begun to start taking the camps out. Red team is attempting to do that on the Siege Giants, so they're currently making their move there and taking the first ones on. And of course, the objective is by now also live, which means that we could get a sneaky early Dragonite if a team locks that in, but that hasn't happened yet. Now the first Siege Giants on the map. Things are a bit more tacit right now. I mean, they are not getting too aggressive. We've seen insane brawls in both of the games so far, but here things have slowed down slightly, and they are trying to just fight for control over the shrines here in Dragonshire. Already Alexstrasza with her trade goes for the Dragon Queen very, very early. Maybe a little bit trigger happy on that. That's a big cooldown that you're burning. I mean, fair enough, but did not expect that to come out this soon. Now, they have Zeratul at the top, and they're even trying to push that wall down, but more importantly, they have double control over the shrines, but Kel'Thas dies. Zeratul is in the middle, though, starts the channel, and... gets the Dragonite. 2.5 minutes in, and they got the DK. No interrupt in this case, so they lost the hero in the process, but they were able to pick up the Dragonite. Good for them, and yeah, not too shabby. Now they just have to start doing some actual damage with him. They are going to the top lane, trying to take the wall out here. Maybe a bit of damage on the fort too, but obviously the idea is to take the fort out here as quickly as they can, with the idea to remove the fountain from the lane, so that it's harder for whoever plays the top lane to get access to the shrine and hold it. But it's an early Dragonite. It's not that strong, so with them responding quickly, it can't do a whole lot. The wall has taken some damage. You play around the Dragon's Breath mainly. But it also pushed everybody towards the top side, which allowed for a lot of pressure at the bottom of the map, and Save the Taco has used that opportunity to come in here and start demolishing another wall. So this is nearly done too. Some early structural damage thanks to that first objective that they got, no matter how early and how weak therefore it was. Level 7 talents kick in on both sides. Toad build gets continued. We have the Psionic Echo. And another kill for the red team. The Munchies taking down Kel'Thas. That's 3 kills against 0 now. So they are slowly starting to drop them here. But again, they are also losing heroes. Nicely done by Save the Taco. They're able to move in for this. Zeratul is now getting caught in the middle as well as he was trying to move in. But first it was of course Tassada that fell, so now it's 4 kills to 1. Still a pretty nice advantage that we're getting for the team in red. So they are putting their stamp onto this game very early on. Just doing solid work here, getting a lot of damage done, and hopefully for them, of course, also establishing that lead even a little bit more so that they have maybe the early level 10 ability here. But the Tacos, they don't want to just simply give up that match point and roll over. They have done more structural damage. And they're going in with another taunt, taking full advantage, or trying to, from Varian. Another Dragon Pin from Alexstrasza already, but always in positions where I feel the Munchies can simply walk away from it. Dragon Queen is amazing, but if you leave your opponent an opportunity to simply walk away from the trade, then it's a cooldown that you burned. And in this case, they can push for the structures a bit more, but they don't really have to take the fight. Siege Giants everywhere as teams went for the camp. D.Va gets attacked up at the top now. Zul is still attempting his best to defend the lane as much as possible. And now that he has also a camp assisting him a bit, this should actually work. But the explosion takes the entire minion wave out, and that was a very nice defense from D.Va. So no problem for her. Doesn't even need assistance at the top. Level 10 kicks in though. That gives us Archon. Again, the slide. The ETC play of Scar is not too bad. I mean, he's been giving the team opportunity after opportunity to go for a kill. Good heal from Alexstrasza, but Varian was definitely in trouble there. So the red team is fighting back. They're trying to put that point onto the board. Trying to start the comeback in this best of 5 series. And might be able to pull that off. I mean, who knows. Over on the left side, Kablamo. That's actually some nice synergy as well. I like that. Look at that, like some Hera, skin, Thor style, and then in green also the bike. That's not too bad. Ooh, also, we got a Void Prison. Void Prison with a slash build. Went straight into a Greater Cleave here on level 1, so full on cleave build with the VP behind it. Oh, nice. These double gravity laps is always so satisfying when you lock them in. And you're just praying that somebody would come and yeah, drop the target, but didn't quite happen for them. Still, I really like it. So Kalthas, he's been playing the last game obviously already a lot around those gravity lapses and was hitting them hard. So job well done. Definitely not too bad for them. Now again, ETC, you gotta be careful because he's been sliding and doing work. Haven't seen a mosh pit yet, but now there's obviously more and more CC. You have the ETC slide, you have Poly from Brightwing. There's a lot of tools that they can still use in these situations fairly easily. I mean, right now also up at the top we got D.Va pushing with her own camp. Earlier she defended the push with the mercenary camp from the Munchies. Now she's trying to repay them, and Zeratul is helping out. So that's a problem for Zul. Zul is actually in trouble here. Zeratul, if Zeratul would stay, he VPs the fort and they take Zul down. So the idea was to just shut the fort down because it was helping with defense. Now Zul is dead. They can take the fort apart, and down at the bottom of the map, Kalthas at least gets killed. So it's a counter kill. But that was good work. And Suljin is on his way, sorry, Zeratul is on his way down to the bot lane now. Hoping, of course, to jump in, flank, get another kill for the team, which hasn't quite worked. Good stacking for Zeratul though. Zeratul is now sitting on 97 stacks, so not too bad. And I mean, at this pace, did I say Zeratul? I meant Nazeebo. Damn, what is happening? I need more coffee. I did actually my thing now with a half caffeine, half decaf beans. Maybe that's the problem. Anyways, Nazeebo with 97 stacks. He has no problem getting to the 175 if he keeps that rate up. We're on level 13 right now, so all good for him. Scar currently still sitting middle, down bottom of the map. Again, Zeratul jumping in, out. They're looking for Tacita here. And they're looking for a Dragonite. Zul is defending the middle. He's trying to hold the line for them. And yeah, down at the bottom of the map. They're still being pushed back. No DK. They have double control, but they're not getting a Dragonite here just yet. Nazeebo is the top damage dealer with 27,000 for the game. The slide! Zeratul in trouble, gets the heal, and he gets the ult. Alexstrasza has their back over and over again. Now they go for ETC, and he gets killed. That Mosh was very optimistic. He was already low in HP and didn't catch Kalthas. That interrupt came pretty quickly, and then there was beef on the table. Time for a burger. I'm on an absolute pizza tear lately. After, like, I had a cycling race that I was preparing for a long time, including, of course, nutrition. And I still have a few coming up, but have a bit of a break now. And, oh, I've been just craving pizzas. There's so many good pizza places around here. That's fantastic. Interestingly enough, I haven't really found any in the area that have actually pineapple on pizza, which is obviously a huge loss. A nice pizza Hawaii with ham and pineapple is always fantastic. That's the one thing that nowadays, we are so divided these days, but the one thing that we can agree on is that pineapple definitely belongs on pizza. Interestingly enough, though, at least a few of the local shops here don't offer that, and I need to talk to them a bit about it. So the bottom fort is now gone. And we have, with that, 2 forts destroyed. D.Va is not even here. She's at the top. She's just pushing. So it's... The one thing that we've basically had in every single game in this series so far is that it's mostly the blue team that is making the decisions. They are making the plans. They are the ones who set the agenda. They push, they make their plays, they go for the objective. They have good rotations going on. The Munchies, with sometimes great coordination and syncs on plays that they want to execute during team fights, but when it comes to just dominating the macro game, the Tacos are just bad. It's just what it feels like. So, currently the slide from ETC again. Down here, D.Va, yeah, she's taking some damage. Also ate a lot of shots from that fort. That's the last remaining one for the Munchies. 120 stacks now for Nazeebo. He's getting there. Nazeebo is definitely getting there, and that should be a huge red flag for the blue team. Mosh pit! He can't drop these moshs if he doesn't get Kalthas with it. Alexstrasza is dead, so at least they got a kill. But they're getting interrupted too quickly, and now ETC dies. Slides away, dies, and they're going for the fort. They take it out too. D.Va is also gone, got killed here. The fort is still destroyed. So structures, I'm not sure if it was worth it now that they lose also Varian. That's 3 heroes that I sacrificed to get the fort. I think that could have done a little bit differently from them. But be it as it may, that one still hurt the red team a little bit. But the good news for the red team, because there definitely is some, is still that it's level 16 now. Nazeebo has 130 stacks, and they haven't lost a key bit or anything. The chances of him getting 220 are pretty big. And if you get to 20 with Nazeebo, that can be a game changer. This can be one of those situations where you're turning the game around by yourself. So this is where the blue team should be a little bit weary. Because Nazeebo stacking is just going perfectly. I also don't know, like, did he kill? No, he didn't get killed. Hasn't gotten killed once. Survived through all of the fights now. So, yeah. Good for me on Nazeebo. Starting to get a few more camps down here. Blue team might want to have a say in that, but they're too late if they really attempted to check that out. So now the camp in the middle. 2.5 levels. And they're on 20, and 30 stacks are missing for Nazeebo. That's definitely doable. And here they get a kill on D.Va. D.Va is dead. Gets lasered into the ground. Tassadar goes brrrr, and that's the end of D.Va. So, that might even be the end of the bottom fort. They're coming in for the fort, try and take that out too. Old Master is already working this. And yeah, that's the end of the bot lane fort, and more stacks for Nazeebo. Mosh pit, much better. Kalthas is actually hit by it. The follow-up with the zombie wall from Nazeebo, and Kalthas goes down. Fort destroyed. Kalthas is gone. Topside gets defended by Zul. The keep has already taken damage here. Zeratul was pushing, but this is now where they are making their own move for the bottom wall. And look how much Nazeebo does with those toads. Toads against structures are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And that is without Wild Infection. He's going to clean this up later, if he gets a chance to. That damage over time is absolutely nasty. Nazeebo is dropping acid like crazy. Zeratul is getting killed now as well. And Nazeebo is just 15 stacks short of his quest being completed. Less. So they are in a great spot. Yeah, Nazeebo wants to get some additional toads out, but he's slightly out of range. Or that could have done even more damage, unless of course the heroes on the blue team side would have soaked it up. Regarding damage, Nazeebo and Tassadar are basically tied. If the Wild Infection comes into play, Nazeebo is going to take over heavily on that. And both of the top damage dealers are on the side of the Munchies. And there's a Dragonite that they're able to lock in as well. Things are going just swimmingly well for the Munchies now. This is a completely different situation than what we had in game number 1 and game number 2. All of a sudden there's a chance for them to win this one. And level 20 is in. Nazebo has Wild Infection. He's missing 4 stacks. But the Dragon Knight is already taking that fort out with ease. No problem here. At all. So, fort is getting destroyed. Dragon Knight 15 minutes in. Strong enough to do some work here. Nazebo has his Wild Infection. And now he's just going to absolutely murder structures, murder heroes. He will surpass Tassadar for sure in the damage department. No doubt in my mind. So, looking really, really good for them. Mia now at the front. Yep, and boom, Nazebo gets the kill. And is already ahead of Tassadar. Just with one little action, one little move, one little play, and he's already ahead. So they're taking the final fort out, and that puts them on even footing with Save the Taco, with the blue team, in structures alone. Now for the blue team, they need to get level 20. They're going to have it any moment, and then it's going to be fair fights. But this is... yeah, they should have... You need to be a little bit more aggressive and try and shut Nazebo down here, or you have to face with Violent Infection eventually, and that's exactly the situation they find themselves in now. And I'm not sure how this is going to go, because again, Nazebo is going to murder this. Look at the damage that is done to that keep. Keep is already gone, and that is the first one. They just pushed in. There's nothing else. There was no objective, nothing. They just moved into the middle and they said, hey, this is ours now. And I took it out. So that's one keep gone. Objective hasn't been announced yet. Archon was used by Tassadar too, so they popped a couple of ults in order to make that work. Now they're moving in and they're getting the next camp, which also just disappears. They go through those mercenaries like hot butter through cheese, melting them away. There's a slide on Zeratul. Void Prison is out. They try to isolate here. Nice. Choke point play though. What about Nazebo? Can he get more toads out against it? Tries to get some heals. Still a bit of a problem. ETC is already down. Explosion and goodbye. Goodbye. Zeratul and Nazebo are both dead. Nazebo at this point is sitting at 78,000 damage. But yep, that is an opportunity for the blue team to get some control over the game again. 6 kills to 12 in favor of the Munchies. And maybe the chance now to make a play for the top side keep. They are going for the camp in the middle as well. But pushing through the top with the minion wave that is emerging there is probably the best play for them. Just trying to take that keep out. They are moving into the middle though. I have to admit, I am a little bit surprised. I really thought that they would just go for the top side and go for the keep. And I mean, it's the Bridge of Death and you're up against Tassadar, who has of course some AoE. I honestly would have still liked them to make a move here. A little bit disappointed that they don't. Instead, what they did is go for some camps at the bottom of the map, which gives them a temporary reprieve. But in the big scheme of things, it doesn't really change too much. So, yeah, a little bit surprised by that. I really thought that they would play this a little bit more aggressively. But, as is, we have a 5 versus 5 back up on the map. The Zeratul is now at the top. They are trying to get the objective, so that's the next plan from them. Get the objective, get the Dragon Knight, 18 minutes in, 19 minutes in, and try to win with it. And the DK was actually given up. DK is just there. Eats some damage already from Nazebo and the Toad. Lost 5% of its hit points with that single hit. And it's going to lose a lot more. I mean, look at this. He's actually, with all the poke that we get from Nazebo and Tassadar, already down to 70%. Hasn't even approached the wall yet. Or, well, with one object. Hasn't auto-attacked the wall yet. Has hit one Dragon's Breath, and that's it. So he's trying to save it as best as he can. But that poke, Nazebo and Tassadar just going up against him, that does a lot. And he eats more. So this is not too bad for the Munchies. This is a really good Dragon Knight defense. Very annoying though for Save the Taco. They're trying to play the safe as they can, but it's tricky. Yeah, dodging some of that, but the Dragon Knight is already down to 33%. I think at this point they can really forget about taking down a keep here. I don't see that happening anymore. Some damage maybe, but yeah, that's about it. Those minion waves that they're waiting for, they're getting destroyed immediately. Dragon Knight went for the run-up, had to interrupt even that. And yeah, I can only get the Dragon's Breath in. I would have loved for them to go to the top. I know usually you're not supposed to go there it's the bridge of death after all. But earlier when they had a 4 versus 3, or was it even a 5 versus 3 on the bridge, they could have taken that. They could have done a bit more. 12 kills to 6. Yeah, Scar sitting tight over here. Zeratul is now up at the top. And in the middle, they essentially had to give up. And now 20 minutes into game number 3. Munchies holding on with their defense. Flamethrower, obviously, from Khaldor. That has also helped a little bit when they're heavily into Ignite and trying to spread the bombs here. And while all of that goes on, we now have the red team just attempting to flank over. ETC. Eager for another big mosh that he can drop on the opponent. But he hasn't hit so far. Well, that's not really fair to him. He had a couple of mosh pits that were maybe a bit on the weird side just because he couldn't do too much with them. He dropped them on half the team, but never Khaldor, so he immediately interrupted them. But then he also had a really good one later on where Khaldor and everybody else was hit and taken out of the battle. So, yeah, should still be fair to him here. One team fight can decide the game right now. And they're going for a camp again. So they're trying for the camp here. D.Va in the middle of things. And seems like everybody is just saying like, yeah, we don't want to fight. We're a little bit afraid of losing. Let's just go for some mercenaries. Let's play around that. I mean, fair enough. So they're playing for some mercenaries on the map. Maybe wait for the objective again. We're 21 minutes in now. It's fair to say that the next objective is likely going to end the game. And there are the shrines. Next team fight might end the game. Let's not forget, in the middle of the map, for example, the blue team's keep is already gone. So there's a direct path towards the core whenever you're able to win anything here. If you look over at how the experience played out in the game, there is a pretty big lead in the minion experience still for the red team, of course, with the extra kills that they were able to get. But on the mercenary side, I talked a bit about the macro game of Save the Taco. They're doing a great job with their macro plays, and that's what we're seeing here too. They want D.Va. There's a taunt from Varian to interrupt this a little bit. Mosh pit on D.Va alone, but they get the kill. It was worth it. They got the kill. A little bit unorthodox, looked a little bit weird, but they were able to take D.Va out. So that's a 5 versus 4, and now you have the upper hand in the game for another 50 seconds. Could try and go for the bottom keep, could try and go for the objective. I mean, there's a couple of different ways how they can play this now. They are going up against Zeratul and Khaldor, but it seems that they're absolutely willing to come in here and try and take that keep out. And they should be absolutely willing to. Zeratul is at the top, so they have only 3 defenders against them. And look how quickly that keep is getting melted away. Look how quickly Nazeebo and Tassadar take this out. They're even going for the core. And Zeratul is still at the top. Dude, you need it. Okay, here he is. Hearth already, but there comes the Vile Infection damage. Yep, Tassadar also with Archon got hit by the core for a second, but boy oh boy. Tassadar might go down here. Core is already at 80%. Can they get Nazeebo onto the core a little bit more? 74%, 73%. Nazeebo has already started to move back, so no more toads. They're retreating slowly. They took the keep. They took a lot of hit points off the core. But they lost Tassadar thanks to the Void Prison isolation of Zeratul. Protoss versus Protoss. And that's that. Now, Zeratul is still chasing a bit. And of course they want the objective here. 70% on the core. Nazeebo now at 100,000 damage. And they want the Dragonite, and they're also going for a camp. This could be an interrupt, and Zul is already moving towards the top. So here in the middle, Sky is now interrupting and buying time for the rest of the team to rotate towards the top. So this is looking a bit better, trying to just stop this for the time being, because Tassadar is back in 10 seconds. This is not going to be as easy anymore for the Targets as it was in previous moves where they went for the objective and simply were given it, pretty much. So now they have to actually fight for this a little bit more deliberately. But Zeratul is now going towards the top, so there's still a chance that the Dragonite gets taken. Low, ETC. Yeah, Zeratul is already moving towards the middle. They're going to get another objective here. Nobody's going to interrupt this. Dragonite is guaranteed pretty much for Save the Taco. Now they just need to make sure that they're saving the rest of the team. Dragonite is in, and we're 24 minutes into the game. This is the big one. This is where they can win the entire series. This is where they can decide the match in their favor. The big opportunity for Save the Taco to get the 3-0. They need to be a bit decisive around this. Poking against Tassadar and Nazeebo is not going to work for them. Nazeebo, by the way, on the baseline with 253 stacks already. So more and more hit points and mana. He is an absolutely tanky monster now. So they try to go for it, but look how quickly that Dragon Knight disappears. They're getting good damage in on the key, but it's not good enough. So the key might just fall, but it's not guaranteed. Top side, this is where they're getting pushed by a catapult, by the way. And this could be a problem, because we're 25 minutes in, catapults hate hard. Yeah, but it's catapult versus catapults, they're going to be fine here. Even with the next minion wave also sporting another one. It's not enough time for that to really do damage. But they go also for the mercenary camps here. So, siege giants are getting attacked again. Down at the bottom of the map. Yep. This one is getting claimed. This is going to be one of the 30-minute games. Just you wait. Damage numbers after the last fight. The king of the game is Khaldor still. 116,000 damage. Khaldor is just spreading the living bomb damage and is surpassing even Nazeebo with Violent Infection, which is nuts, honestly. It's pretty wild. Also, kudos to the healers. A lot of damage that they have been able to heal out here. Yeah, Khaldor here, for example, with Ignite, also with Backdraft, so trying to work some slows in for the team too. A little bit more control during all of this. Nazeebo's gonna get 300 if this continues, by the way. He's gonna hit 300 stacks on his baseline. And Khaldor is at 92 globes for mana. There's a chance he's going triple digits with this. So, another big stacking quest. Yeah, defend well, but now the next shrine is announced. I like, by the way, how the bottom keep has now been destroyed over here, the middle keep are destroyed, and then you look over on the other side, and both of these are essentially below 50%. It's kind of crazy. The Munchies have been holding on to all their keeps, the Tacos have been trying to take them apart over and over again. Hasn't worked out for them. They're so close, they just need someone to get close to the middle. Khaldor to drop a couple of abilities in, just a few flame strikes, and that would be it. But it just hasn't happened. Forcing the fight down here. Alright, VP is in. ETC needs to be mega careful here. He can't die. VP is over. Void Prison is over. ETC slides out. Okay. And they're still fine. The bomb attempt by D.Va pushed back. And they're still all alive. Lots of ults already being used here. And now Nazeebo started to turn it again with another big attack. Big problem also for the blue team is that they have to defend the top lane, because now there's catapults and minion wave plus mercenary camp. Zeratul is the one that is starting to take care of it, but that also means that there's going to be a walk by from the Munchies at the bottom shrine. They take that and they start to claim the camp. I wouldn't put it past them to just try for the core again. Not at all. They've been pretty aggressive with a lot of the plays that they've been executing earlier, so yeah, it's going to be... Nazeebo's not quite at 300 yet. 292. 8 are missing. 8 are missing and he goes for 300. So, yeah, there's the push for the bottom. Again, that double gravity lapse. Nice, catching ETC as he was attempting to slide in. But as already called, they're trying to make the play with the camp. Zeratul gets the heal and he's alive. Mosh pit attempt by ETC gets interrupted. Oh boy. And here comes again D.Va sliding out. ETC. Zeratul is gone. Zeratul is gone. This might just be it. This might be the moment right here. They are pushing, they're attacking. They have Nazeebo, they have Tassadar. They're trying to poke this down. And the damage through the toads with Violent Infection is still massive. Not scratching the shield yet though, but they're making their way towards the core. And Varian gets destroyed. That's 3 defenders. And that's the opportunity right here. They're slowly playing around it. ETC is low, but he gets the heals. They need to go for the core, though, if they really want to end the game here. And Nazeebo is starting to drop the first couple of abilities on it. ETC still dead. Has his death march and is going for another kill. D.Va is gone. The core is destroyed. And finally, the Munchies are putting a point onto the board and are forcing the 4th game within the series. GG. The 4th map, we have the Tacos against the Munchies, and this time we are on Towers of Doom. Over on the left side, we got Kablamo on Cassia, Taco on Alexstrasza, Grolk with ETC, me on Ophir, and Bellacore is playing Arthurs. And we have player killer #1 in the game. For the Munchies, Miller is playing Nova, Old Master Lunara, we got Griffiths on Diablo, Scar on Trash Tannis, and then Mikako on Tyrande, which gives us a Diablo Tyrande comp. Just not sure if they can properly execute this here. By the way, 2nd time that they have Alexstrasza in a row now. But yeah, ETC and Arthurs. That's an interesting front line that they have. So let's see who's gonna take this one. Match point #2, obviously, for the Tacos. I mean, duh. If they win it here, then they decide the best of 5 series and also the group in their favor. This is the big grand final of Group C. Also, quick side note, there is no follow-up bracket. I talked about this in the other grand finals. Kind of important because they changed things a little bit. Initially, it was supposed to be a format where the top teams out of each group would move on to a bracket. They changed it. This is the amateur senior, and it was like, yeah, each of the groups has their own grand final. Because the skill difference between the different groups was a little bit too much, they decided that that would be a little bit better, more fair, and also take a bit less time between the seasons here for them. But as is, we now have our grand final and our 4th map in this best of 5. So what can Nova do? That's what we have to figure out first. Already we have a bit of action happening here at the top towards ETC. But Gorg is able to get away. Tyrande is interestingly enough alone in the middle of the map. What are you doing here, girl? You need to give some heals over. This is a really bad decision to walk there. Tyrande, okay, realizes what's happening, I guess. Gets a stun through. Diablo pushed onto the point as they're trying to take the objective. But Diablo is the first one to fall in this team fight. Now they go for Nova in the back as well. She gets slapped and killed. Big slaps here, and that's the end of Nova. No player killer #1 here. So, yep, that's already 3 heroes that were destroyed. Diablo died for the 2nd time. Nova got killed too. It's the Tacos that open this up with a bit of a bang. Good start for them. Very good start indeed. Now, you can obviously always blame RNGs a little bit and say like, we have Nova, we have Artanis. They got a better lineup than ours, but that's just the nature of the tournament here. And I gotta say, I kinda like it. We didn't have a mirror match today. We didn't have the same hero on each side so far in this grand final. Maybe if it goes to a 5th map, we're gonna get it there. Nova, though, damn girl, gets killed again in the middle. So, yeah. She gets killed. I mean, her and Diablo are currently getting murdered a bit. And talking about Diablo, Arthas comes in with another Howling Blast and connects that. Absolutely on point, so that could have been another problem for them. Trash Tannis is dead now too. They are suffering here. They are seriously suffering it. That is 5 kills against them, and that is, as we say here in Spain, no bueno. So, that's rough. That's a level that they're behind already. They're already behind by an entire level, and there is a very good chance that they're going to lose momentum in the game. This is a great comeback map, and you can always come back later on when you started scaling a little bit and have the momentum in the late game. But currently, it seems that the blue team is under full control here. They've taken 2 out of the 3 altars that spawned with the first objective. Artanis has at least locked in the one at the top right, but that's all that they were able to get. So, yeah, that hurts a bit. That's an early level 7 for them too. Obviously adding a little bit insult to injury here. Doesn't really make things any easier for them. But let's see. Maybe they can still turn this at some point. Still a bit of a tough one. Now, anyways. Level 7 talents are now ready for the Tacos. They're also getting the stacks, of course, for not only Arthas, but also for Alexstrasza. So slowly, steadily, they're gonna get something done as they are mid lane play for here. If the red team can get a swap here, you know, they might just get the kill and gain some momentum for themselves. They have not even gotten a single kill yet, and that always is a bit of a problem. You need some momentum, you need something to feel good about. Get some positives in here. As it stands right now, the play is being made fairly easily over here. So, yep, again, the camp is being invaded. They're trying to make the move here. How much can they actually do? I mean, they're currently doing their best to just control the mercenaries completely. And the blue team, have they gotten all? Let me double check, actually. They've gotten all of them. They have absolutely gotten every single one. That is kind of nuts a little bit. Now they take Tyrande down too, so Tyrande gets destroyed. But not a single mercenary camp has been taken by the red team, by the Munchies. That's actually crazy. And the pressure just keeps growing. 6 kills to 0, more than a level lead right now. So they are doing an absolutely stellar job with all of this. And it will be tough to bring this back. Not impossible, but definitely tricky. So, yeah, a few more are already being taken here. Shots are being fired, it's an exchange. And now the invade attempt from the Munchies as they're trying to pay them back. And they get a kill! They kill Cassia! So them invading the camp here and finally showing a little bit of initiative and saying, hey guys, we can do this, pays off. They get the kill. They get a second one too! They take off Fia down. Player killer number 1. Nova to the rescue. So, yeah, slowly. Still a level behind. They have level 10 against them. But we're getting somewhere. Stage dive, by the way. Stage dive and Syndragosa currently. The tools used by the blue team to try and decide this game, this match in their favor. But I like that we have from the Munchies a bit of a sign of life, yeah. I mean, honestly, we needed something. It would have been a sad affair if here in game number 4 they just get slapped around and lose the series like that. But now they are slowly clawing their way back in. You have a couple of tools. I mean, you can use Diablo Tyrande. It's an old Truth and Try combo. And the follow-up damage from Nova with a bit of burst is great as well. ETC doesn't get fooled by anything here and is able to get away as they're attempting to gank. It's also a bit of a problem because it left the bottom bell tower all alone, and that is just easy pickings for Arthurs with Syndragosa. They're coming in and drop it down below 50% of its HP. Don't think they can take the entire thing apart, but they at least can do something here. So, yeah. Nova with Precision Strike, and on top of that we got the Purifier Beam. So, time to check how this is all gonna work out now that we have level 10 abilities on both sides. But it is a double altar that spawns. Double altar is about to be in. Yeah, Atanis is sitting in the middle. Belacor is already with Arthas trying to control the space here. And Bambi gets it just in time before ETC comes in with the stage dive. Slightly mistimed, my friend. Diablo with a combo. Precision strike. Get wrecked. ETC down. Nicely done. They go for the Dragon Queen, and whoa, this one did actually a little bit of work. Yeah, that is a pretty big hit model. So, yeah. 6 kills to 3. 28 on both sides. The Munchies, look at that. They're actually starting to take the lead in points on the core. Yeah, they get both altars. They didn't cheese in, but they snuck in the bottom one before ETC made a move, and then they won the fight, took the one in the middle, and all of a sudden they have not only drawn even in experience, more or less, with the tacos, but they've also gotten both of those 2 altars, and therefore taken the advantage on the core points. Not bad, I like it. That's exactly what I wanted here. I got worried in the early game. Here comes Syndragosa. Good slow, so they're able to translate that into a kill. Arthas, yeah, attempts to walk Diablo down, but they're making a play for Mikaku instead, and they get the access to Tyrande and drop her. That's, of course, one of the bigger problems. If you have Tyrande in a position like this, then, yeah, it's just a bit tricky. Oh my god, now Diablo is dead too. The problem essentially with Tirana in a situation like that is that she doesn't have any escape tools. That's the big issue. She has absolutely no tools to deal with any of this. So she is just getting murdered once that the slows connect with her. And yeah, that's exactly what happens here. But okay, now that we have level 13 already up for the Tacos, they extended the lead in experience again. Question that still remains is just how much can they do here? I mean, can they... for a moment I was thinking, hey, maybe they're even going for a boss. That hasn't really happened. So, yeah. A little bit unfortunate in that regard. Couldn't execute the play there, but they got the bell tower at the bottom of the map, so that's at least something. They have the 5 versus 3 situation for them going right now, so that's already a nice one. So that was easy pickings. If they can now get the altar, then they will also pull ahead there a bit. Already the play with the precision strike once more from Nova. Apocalypse is out. Diablo, there we go, and Cassia with the ball of lightning the entire time, dishing out the damage. Time and time again. Who gets the first kill here? Artanis also with the ult, but it's Arthas that dies first. The red team, ladies and gentlemen, after winning game number 3, they have gotten confident, it seems. They're slowly getting there. So, can they do more? Shots are fired, but it's only 3. But that's already all that they needed to do. 21 points on the core against 25. And the bell tower situation hasn't given the blue team too much. It made sure that they didn't take more damage. But they couldn't... yeah, do too much about it here. So, we'll see. It's a level 16 tile, and also the next triple altar phase that's going to become a little bit of a problem. The next thing to obviously take into consideration is that the bell tower situation hasn't changed. They haven't been able to reclaim that. ETC jumps in. They're still defending. Arthas is sitting in the middle. Artanis has moved towards the top for experience. But as long as it's a 5 versus 3 spot, every single altar that the blue team takes is gonna hurt a lot. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, right now... what do we get here? Yeah, right now we still have them just defending the bot lane as much as possible. And they're doing okay. Red team is trying to push in, but just can't. Level 16 talents are coming in soon. This is a triple altar phase right now, and the blue team has done everything that they wanted to do, honestly. They wanted to defend this, and they have. So now they're in a spot where they can do tons of damage during this altar phase, assuming that they're getting at least 2 out of them. And ETC is defending at the top. None of the bell towers is even threatened. Red team is spreading out, hoping that they can sneak 2 in quickly so that they don't lose too much, but they don't even have a level 16 talent, which is obviously another problem that they're currently facing here. No level 16, ETC gets quickly killed. Damn, this is great for the Munchies. They get 3 shots fired already. Ophia gets the altar down at the bottom. Apocalypse has not interrupted her, and now it's the top left altar that everybody is fighting for. Blue team is still behind overall, but if they can reclaim... No, they can't. They're losing this one too. The Munchies are getting more and more control here. They have now taken 2 out of the 3 altars, and it's 15 to 20 shot, despite the fact that the blue team had consistently control over 5 of the bell towers. So, yeah. Kinda wild. Precision strike comes in, and the red team is on an absolute tear. They're still behind in kills, but they're definitely trying to change that. They're coming in with one attack after another. Now they drop Arthas again. ETC jumps in, could get attacked quickly, gets swapped over, and yeah, they're just disengaging right now. Oh, that's gonna hurt, potentially. But yeah, they're gonna be able to walk away from this unscathed. They need to retake that bell tower at the bottom of the map, though. That's really something that they need to go for. That bottom bell tower needs to be claimed. And if not, they're gonna have a tough time. It's nice that they're a little bit ahead on points on the core, but still, you need to... you can't lose control like this. So, currently, that bottom bell tower is slowly getting attacked. Seems like the blue team has more or less given up on it and has decided that they're not going to make the move here. We have now top side, still everybody just walking around the boss, but not really committing to anything. They have, for example, full vision of what's happening down at the bottom of the map. They could have tried to go for the boss. Either force them to react to it, or claim it while, or make it a trade. They haven't. Now the next altar gets announced for the bottom of the map. We have a single altar. So here comes the big fight. But now it's 4 versus 4 on the bell towers. So, alright. Let's see who takes the next big fight here. Because that next battle that is happening here, this could get interesting, to say the least. They're giving the position up again. They just let them have these. Another 4 shots fired. 22-11. They're giving this up a little bit too easily, if you ask me. There are plenty of opportunities to really push in with the comp that they're currently running here. And they're just not doing it. So they're insanely cautious. I wonder if this is going to work out for them in the end, or if they're just playing this a bit too safe. Because this is... I mean... They're on 11 points. They don't have a lot now. Here comes the next play with Syndragosa. They're trying to go for the bell tower again. Here comes the push. Diablo low, and there's the kill. Had the souls, will be back. But they want that bell tower again. Look at Arthas. Arthas is walking to run it down. I talked about it before. I talk about it again. Once that she is hit by Howling Blast, once that she's slowed, she is in trouble. She goes down, and Bambi gets destroyed as well. It's a triple kill. All of a sudden, the tacos just explode into that team fight, and they take heroes down, are able to get kills. They go for the bell tower at this point, and yep, this is going to look much, much better right now for them. Okay, so... Oof. What's the next play here? Currently what we're getting is level 20, slowly. Bell tower has been retaken, so it's a 5 versus 3 again. 5 versus 3, push through the middle, and Nova is dead. They're staggering deaths now. Full control. Munchies just lost control. Entire team got essentially wiped. And now it's bell tower after bell tower that gets attacked. Altar is spawning. They're still behind, obviously, which is the problem. But they are looking now better and better in that situation. So great, great moves from Save the Taco. They gained the momentum in one swift swoop, and then they just started to hammer the opposition. Now it's down to 11 to 15 points. ETC is taking this solo as the rest of the team is moving into the middle for another control of bell tower number 6 now. 6-2 situation. And ETC has already prepped this up, so they can easily claim this one. Don't even have to help him out. The rest of the team can defend down at the bottom of the map. Seems like ETC isn't even missed, and he has stage dive too, so whenever there is a fight that he's needed, he can just simply jump in. But that's another 4 shots as he's prepping for the team that would put them on an even score with the Munchies. So this is horrible for the red team. This could be the last game of that series. Shots are fired, and more mercenaries are being taken as well. So it's, yeah, this is going to be difficult. Even if they retake this, 11 to 11 points, but it's really the loss of control of the game and the loss of momentum that's probably the worst for them. Damage output, Nova, player killer number 1 is on 50,000 damage. That's top damage for the Munchies. 67,000 for Cassia. And still controlling the bot lane as best as possible. ETC just keeps side laning it. Side lane ETC all day, every day from them right now. So, yeah, he's doing his thing. And then, on top of that, here comes Syndragosa again. The lockdown, absolute zero. They're coming in with a vengeance. They want more kills. They get Lunara. Bambi's gone. Diablo might be in trouble. Artanis with the ult, but he's on the run now. Gets some decent damage out, but Alexstrasza with the Dragon Queen is just absolutely murdering everything that they are able to dish out. She just heals them up within seconds. Again, great play from Taco. And that is now 15 kills in total. 2-6. Double altar is spawning. If they just get one, they got two pumpkins through. 3! If they take both of the altars, the game's over, and they kill Diablo, and he's down for an entire minute. This is a disaster. The disaster for the Munchies. They kill at least Arthas. That's something. But, oh my god. This is where they could... I think they just lost the game here. already. Yep, ETC gets the first channel. Now they're down to 3. Have been in single digits for a while, and this is where the Tacos are going to win their game. Nice interrupt attempt here by Nova, but this is just not changing anything. It's the Tacos. Save the Taco. They win the series. They take victory in the best of 5, and they win Group C. ETC gets kicked out. Du kommst hier nicht rein. And then they're claiming the game. Nicely done, well played, and a 3-1 victory for Save the Taco. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.